Morning everybody, Mr. Smith here up at the crack of dawn to show you how to find the height of any object as long as you can measure its shadow. So, number one, we've talked about proportions lots of times in class, and I'm actually willing to do this in class. We just ran out of time this year. Check out this proportion of such. If you can make one side of the proportion with your height and your shadow, the other side of the proportion, the height of the object, and the object's shadow, if you can fill in three of these things, you can find the fourth. So here's what I've done. I know about how tall I am. I'm 5'11", not quite 6 feet. So I need to measure out my shadow length. Now, number one, if you do this early in the morning, you're gonna have a lot more difficult time because your shadows are gonna be really big in the morning or in the evening. It's best to do it later on in the afternoon. So check. I marked out here where I stood, and I found that my head, when I measured it, reached all the way up there. You can sort of see a mark on the sidewalk that I did of how tall my shadow was. Now the key is you've got to measure all these all at once, because if you wait an hour or two between your measurements, your shadows are going to be different length because the sun is constantly moving through the sky and changing how long shadows are. Now I measured that length of my shadow, and it was about 16 feet 7 inches. So what I did was I converted those. Me being 5'11" is about 5.92. My shadow being 16 feet 7 inches is about 16.58. So I turned those into decimals. Now the object I want to know about is how tall my neighbor's tree is. I can't use the trees in my own house because right now they're in the backyard and that's in shade. But my neighbor's got this really cool tree. This tree right here, and right now it's got a huge shadow across the road. So I wanted to know how tall that tree was. So I went over and I made a mark at the edge of the tree, and I took my handy dandy measuring tape, and I measured the entire length of the shadow all the way back to the trunk of the tree, or as close as I could get anyway. And I found the shadow of the tree is 41 feet 1 inch, which was pretty big. So I turned that into a decimal too. 41 feet and 1 inch, that's 1/12, is about 41.08 feet. Now that I'm equipped with these three numbers, I can set up my proportion. Here's my height and my shadow, and that's going to equal the height of the tree over the tree's shadow. And now it's just a matter of cross multiplying and dividing to figure out how tall the tree is. Now here's the thing I'm afraid some of y'all will get stuck on, is in case you don't have a measuring tape. If you don't have a measuring tape, that's fine. You can literally use anything you can measure with, like a ruler or something like that. But yeah, you're saying, Mr. Smith, it'll take forever to measure 41 feet with a ruler. It will. That's why I want you to do it in the middle of the day when your shadows are a lot shorter, which will make this project a lot easier to do. So, find one object somewhere around your house or your neighborhood or something like that you don't know its height, and figure out exactly how tall this thing is. And I want you to post its actual height as a comment on this post. And I'm going to do the same with my neighbor's tree there. So if you want to see how tall the tree is, check the comments on the post and I'll leave it on there. Good luck everyone, and have fun getting your bonus points.